They're a talented team, and we know they'll come in here snarling like a bunch of hornets.
The National Broadcasting Company presents the National Football League. Today from Rich Stadium, it's the Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills. Brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Budweiser, proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you. And by Goodyear Certified Auto Service. Nobody fits you like Goodyear.
Well, a very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. A wonderful afternoon for a football game in Rich Stadium right outside of Buffalo. Sometimes you can't say that when you come to this town, but we really have a great day for football in the Buffalo area. The Miami Dolphins, a team who seemingly did nothing right a week ago, and the Buffalo Bills, who seemed to do everything right a week ago, should make for a very interesting matchup this afternoon. This is Chuck Thompson. I'm very, very happy to be with you. And via the magic of videotape, I would like to introduce my partner, a fellow that I think many of you have watched in action, number 64. This is what the Packers used to call population right. Throwing the key block to set up another Green Bay Packer touchdown, something he did many times for that wonderful Vince Lombardi, who at that time was coaching the Packers. Here's the way he looked years ago. Take a look at him this afternoon. Jerry Kramer, we're very happy to be with you.
Thank you, Chuck. It's a pleasure to be here with you, and it's certainly a pleasure to be here in the stadium again. The excitement, you can feel the excitement in the air, and I'm pumped up myself and looking forward to a very interesting football game. I think there are two challenges that we're looking at today. The Miami Dolphins, who have played so poorly the last couple weeks. Words used to describe that team this last week were words like dreadful, mediocre, poor, debacle. Coach Shula said he was bitterly disappointed in the way the team played. Troy Stratford, the fine young running back, said, everything that could be done wrong, we did. So they have a challenge to return to the Miami Dolphins that we've known in the past. The Buffalo Bills, on the other hand, played a super game last week against Minnesota. Their defense seemed to come together. They dominated the Minnesota team, and they have to maintain that intensity week after week if they're going to be a championship team and if they want to look down the road to the Super Bowl.
About the only thing I could add to that is a lot of people feel, and maybe you're among them, that this might be the Buffalo Bills' year. And a lot of people think that if the Dolphins don't win the Well, the opening kickoff, Jarvis Williams brought it back, and the Miami Dolphins are going to have possession of the football just outside their 20-yard line, and here is the first play of the ball game. And, of course, you've got Marino in under center as the quarterback. Number 34, Woody Bennett. Number 23, the outstanding runner, Stratford. And let's see Marino, and he gives it to Stratford, hits the middle, and he's got a few yards up to about the 25 or 26, where Cornelius Bennett, number 55, a fellow who will be on your screen many times this afternoon, will be making the tackles. Here's the offensive unit. Woody Bennett and Troy Stratford are the running backs. Mark Duper wide out, and also is Mark Clayton, and the tight end is Bruce Hardy. And it'll be second down, the ball at the 27, so that'll be second down on about 4 now for Miami at their own 27. Offensive line, took a look at those fellows across the way. Coming out wide to the left side of that set is Duper. And a single setback behind Marino on 2nd and 4. And he gets it to the big man into the middle, up over the 30-yard line to about the 31-yard line. Lorenzo Hampton makes the carry, and the tackle is made by linebacker Shane Conlon. And here is the down 3 for the Buffalo Bills. Art Still, Fred Smerlis, and Leon Seals. Those fellows had a heck of a game in the victory over the Vikings. And the outside linebacker, Cornelius Bennett, and the other side is Darryl Talley, and in the middle, Shane Conlon and Ray Bentley. And the deep backs, Derek Barrows in one corner, along with Nate Odoms. Dwight Drain and Mark Kelso is the free safety. They're going to take a look at this to see whether or not the Dolphins have picked up a first down. Hampton, the ball carrier, walks in there to take a look at the measurement. And it looks as though he's got it by about an inch.
Coach Marv Levy on the sidelines, Chuck, at third and very short.
No,
it's interesting.
He didn't get it.
Didn't get it. Interesting, they ran the ball the first couple plays.
Well, last week, the Miami Dolphins in third down situations went 0 for 7. And now they have third down in inches. That's Hampton in motion. And the big hits the middle, and he's got first down yardage out to about the 35. That would be Woody Bennett. And the tackle credit goes to Mark Kelso.
Excellent surge off that line of scrimmage. Watch this white line move forward. Woody comes in and takes the ball, and nice hole at the line of scrimmage for the first down. But that offensive line moved off the ball with power.
Well, the first down of the ball game for the Miami Dolphins, and I know that brings a great big sigh of relief to Southern Florida because it was a tough time getting first downs a week ago. Marino in under center, Stratford and Bennett. Here's the takeaway, play action fake, and he wants to put it in the air for the first time, and he's got number 85, Mark Duper. And Duper had one of those difficult days. Nate Odoms covered Duper, and the gain is very close to first down yardage. We'll check and see. It'll be about a yard short, I believe.
When we talked to Coach Shula yesterday, we asked him what he wanted to do early in the game as we watch Marino go back, throw a square out to Duper. That fine protection, and Duper just does a little square out on the sideline, just short of the first down.
Pickup of 9. Woody Bennett is the up back. And now they switch out of that into the standard pro set. That's that huge tight end you saw. And the give goes to Bennett to the right side, knocked off his feet, maintained his balance. Conlon got there first of all and threw a pretty good shot at him, but couldn't bring him down. Bentley, rather, number 50. And he is able to pick up what appears to be first down yardage at about the 47.
Again, Coach Shula said the thing he wanted to do was get a first down, the first thing he wanted. And here you see Woody struggling and making a tremendous effort to get that second first down of the game.
So the Dolphins have picked up 2 in a row. And Miami surge started back in the 21, and they come to their standard pro set with a first down at their own 42. In motion again is the big tight end, the youngster from Maryland, Farrell Edmonds, number 80. And here is Marino back to put it up again down the middle. And it's caught by Bennett at about midfield. I believe that's an allowable catch, and Ray Bentley was there covering, number 50. A pickup of 8 brings up second down to Miami right at midfield. Now Bruce Hardy is coming into the offensive set for the Dolphins, and moving to the sideline goes Troy Stratford, and that leaves a lone setback as Woody Bennett. Second down, up out 2. I think it's second down and about 8, rather. And here's the give to Bennett again. He has not very much running room getting into Bill's territory for the first time this afternoon. Tackle credit goes to defensive end Art Stills. They're spotting that at around the 47 of the Bills. Gain of 3, and it'll be third down and a short 4. That tackle, incidentally, for Art Still will be number 1,000 in his brilliant career. 1,000 career tackles.
That's quite a milestone, Chuck. You think of the year after year after year. This is Art's 11th year. And the number of years he has to average 6 tackles a game for 10 years without injury, without missing a game. Difficult thing to do for a defensive lineman. You expect that from a linebacker, middle linebacker, some of the linebackers, but a defensive end, right. Difficult chore. Quite a milestone.
Out of the shotgun with a third down and about 3 or 4. Marino looking over the Buffalo defense, and let's see who he's picking for a target this time. Ample time, coming deep, and Clayton won't get to it. It was almost intercepted. Odoms was right there with him step by step and just couldn't bring it off. Incomplete forward pass, and he just about had an interception around the 5-yard line.
Excellent coverage by Nate Odoms. Step for step with Pruitt all the way down the sidelines, and like Chuck said, close to an interception.
Well, here's another one of the, as we look at the return man. And that is Errol Tucker, number 22. And here's Roby's punt, and this is more like Roby's punt. And they let it hit and roll, and it's taking a Miami bounce and then suddenly flattens out, and the Bills will take over at about their own 13. A 33-yard punt with no return. The Bills have the ball, a scoreless ball game, and we'll be right back with that action. No score, and the Bills have the football at their own 13. And on the telephone right now is Mark Kelso, one of the safeties for the Bills, and he's getting a little information from the coaches up in the press box. Take a look at the offensive unit. Jamie Mueller, the good blocking fullback. Thurman Thomas had a whale of a game against the Vikings. Andre Reed and Chris Burkett are the wide receivers, and Metzelaars is the tight end. And here comes Jim Kelly and group. Mueller and Thurman Thomas are the setbacks behind the Buffalo quarterback. And the give goes to Thurman Thomas into the middle, and he is pulled down very quickly as the Dolphins were able to close rapidly. And we'll take a look at the defense of the Dolphins. T.J. Turner is credited with the tackle. The front three is, as you see, Turner and Soche in the middle, and John Boza, the other defensive end, the linebackers, Rick Graff, and the inside backers of Brown and Offerdahl, and Hugh Green, a dandy outside linebacker, number 55. Corners, Paul Langford and William Judson, and the safeties, as you see, Lifford Hobley. And we're ready to go with a second down out at about the 15-yard line. It's second down at about 8. Again, they try that youngster. Oh, hit from behind, and I mean nailed. And taken down very quickly, and we see Hugh Green getting up and accepting the plaudits of his teammates.
This is a different Dolphin football team than we saw last week. A lot more intensity, a lot more awareness, fewer mistakes, fewer penalties. The kind of a Dolphin football team we really expected.
Well, they've got a third down and long yardage. It's third down and just about 7 right now. That's it on the screen. No score. We're early in the first quarter. Capacity crowd at Rich Stadium. And from the shotgun, Kelly has the advantage of another extra look. Sets up, looks down the middle, goes, and it is caught at the 24-yard line, right around first down yardage. Paul Langford makes the tackle on Trumaine Johnson, the wide receiver. And we'll take a look at that again.
It's interesting the Bills started out with 2 running plays, as Miami did. And watch Jimmy Kelly go back from the shotgun formation. Trumaine Johnson just makes a little square in pattern. Kelly takes a shot in the end zone, and that's one of the things Miami wants to do, put some pressure on Jim Kelly, as the Buffalo Bills must do, put pressure on Dan Marino.
First down, the Bills at their own 24. And that same duo in the backfield. Off on the wing is the big running back, and that's Mueller in motion away from us. And the give goes to the youngster again. The rookie from Oklahoma State tries the left side. It's a little tougher going as the Miami defense realizes they were not doing a job last week and realize there might not be a tomorrow if they do not do the job this week. Jarvis Williams is given tackle credit.
This Miami team was embarrassed last week. They played so poorly that they were just embarrassed, and they came in here angry. Coach Shula was churned up. He's angry. The whole team was on edge, and you could see it in their eye and the way they talked, the way they looked. They really felt that they had to play well today.
Well, we had the feeling in talking to Shula yesterday that they were kind of in a state of shock until about the middle of the week, and then they had a very good work week. Second down, about 5. Here comes Mueller in motion. Pitch back to the youngster Thomas. And he tries the right side, and Miami is all over him. Rick Graff got there first, and the ball may have come loose. Is it early or late? We'll know in a moment. They're going to spot it down right at about the 28-yard line. And I think he was dead, and the whistle had sounded before the ball popped free. We'll take a look.
Take a look here at Thomas again, trying to run on that Miami defense. Nothing outside. The defense has strung everything out. He goes back in the inside and is swarmed by that Dolphin defense, and the ball is blown dead at that point before the fumble. Both teams kind of probing, trying the running game. Let's see what happens. We've got 2 of the finest throwing quarterbacks in football out here today, and so far
both of them have been running the football. Let's see what happens here. Let's look. Let's probe.
On the 10-minute ticker, Jerry, there's a little bit of a surprise to somebody, maybe. 3-0 in the first period. The Steelers over the Redskins. The Giants in front of the 49ers, 7-0. And it's New Orleans 3-0 over Atlanta in the first, and the Green Bay 3-0 over Tampa in the first.
That may be Green Bay's first lead of the year.
Third down, and the Bills have to get it out about their 34-yard line for a first down. Third down, about 6. Out of the shotgun, Kelly looks left, now looks center, and throws deep down the far side, and it's going to be intercepted and taken down by William Judson right at about the 47 or 8-yard line of the Dolphins. Let's see whether he is in or out of bounds, whether it's allowable or not, and it may not be allowable.
Here's Judson,
That's Judson
going up for the ball.
That's the first quarter score. It's the Miami-Buffalo no score, and they're still talking over there on the far sideline, but it looks to me as though it's coming back. Still discussing it. I don't know whether they're going to call for another look from upstairs or if they have or not. We'll take a look at it and show it to you again and see whether or not. That's the catch now. Is he in or out? Well, he came down with his hand out of bounds, and that was the first thing that hit the turf.
It looked like the ball came down out of bounds before the feet came down inbounds.
Well,
that's one of those judgment decisions a little bit. A technicality. We'll wait till the replay officials up in the booth.
Well, the referee today is John Greer, and the umpire Art Demos. The head linesman Paul Widener. The line judge is Ron Blum. The back judge is Roy Clymer. They have reviewed it.
First down.
And it is an interception. Judson is credited with the interception, and the Dolphins have the football. Miami with the ball at their own 49-yard line. Pass was intended down there for Andre Reed, and Reed may have just been part of the collision that saw him come down. It looked as though his hand came down out of bounds, but like he was driven out of bounds. Miami has the football at their own 49. And again to the big man Bennett. He finds a hole down to the Buffalo 40 and inside to about the 47-yard line. Derek Burrows makes the tackle, and a penalty flag has been dropped. Maybe that'll explain how he found such a hole.
Holding. 72 offense. Still first down.
And that's Ronnie Lee holding. And the ball is now put down at Miami's 38. First down and about 20. No score here in the first period. A little overcast, but a wonderful afternoon. And certainly in the first period so far, the Dolphins have shown a lot better than they did a week ago against the Bears. Marino looking down the middle, throws out in the flat, and he's got his receiver. Coming out of bounds right in front of the bench, number 23 is Troy Stradford. Nate Odoms pushed him out of bounds. Not too much of a gain. Let's see where they put the ball. Somewhere around, call it the 45-yard line, just a little bit over, make it the 46. A gain of 8.
Troy Stradford is one of Marino's favorite receivers, and in fact led the team in receptions last year. And unusual for a running back on the same team with Duper and Clayton.
Out of the eye, see if they stay that way. They depart that into a split backfield, second down 12. In motion, that's Hardy, the tight end. Marino, a straight drop, looking left, now back over the middle, and he's got the same fellow, the running back, who drops the ball and then recovered. Stratford on the reception, and the hit is put on by Cornelius Bennett, and he is a rather aggressive hitter.
Troy Stratford, his second-year man, has been quite an addition to this Dolphin football team. Marino has plenty of time to throw the ball. Stratford curls out and across the middle, catches the ball, and is immediately hit by Bennett. Bing bang in between the two linebackers, Cornelius Biscuit Bennett and Bentley.
Well, another one of the third downs. This one 3rd down and 5 for Miami at the Buffalo 46 from the shotgun. And a Jenkins on the inside handoff is down to about the 40-yard line, and a nifty call, and the Dolphins have another first down. Shane Conlon would be given credit for stopping Jenkins, who is some sort of a handyman, able to play a lot of different positions, and last week had the longest run from scrimmage for the Dolphins. Jensen.
Again, the Dolphins were 0 for 7 on 3rd down conversions last week, and they're 100% on 3rd down conversions so far in the game.
At the Bills' 40 first down. That's that huge man, Edmonds, again in the move to a wing on the outside. A lot of motion in this one. Here comes Clayton in, and there goes Clayton back out again. And Marino looking for a target. He rips it, and he's got Clayton inside the 35 at about the 33 of Buffalo. Shane Conlon again on the tackle. Gain of about 8. 2nd down 2 for the Dolphins at the 33 of the Buffalo Bills. No score. And we got just over 4 remaining in the he sets them in the eye, and they come right out of it again. On 2nd and short yardage, there's Edmonds again moving over to the right side. Marino takes, gives, and he's got that little boy down inside the 20-yard line, and good for first down yardage. That's Lorenzo Hampton, and Dwight Drain made the tackle. We thought for a moment it was going to be Thurman Thomas, but check that, Thurman Thomas. Thought it at first was going to be Troy Stratford. But it is another first down, and the Miami Dolphins now have. Take a look at Hampton.
Coming off the ball well. You see a block here, and Lorenzo Hampton hits the hole and downfield with good power, good authority, and just running the ball well. Miami's coming off the ball extremely well.
They really are. Deepest penetration. They're down at the 18-yard line. First down at the Bills' 18, no score. Jensen in motion, and the give goes to number 23, and here goes Stratford, and he's trying to get inside the 15, and may have, and they piled on as if the ball may have popped loose momentarily, but I don't think so. Ball is going to be just inside at the 14-yard line. 2nd down 6 now for Miami at the Bills' 14. Certainly a different kind of a Miami football team than a week ago when the Bears just kind of manhandled them. And I'm surprised, Jerry Kramer, at the amount of running that Miami has done. Marino to throw. A lot of time. Great protection. Incomplete in the end zone. His intended receiver might have been Ron Davenport down in the end zone, and he kind of stumbled. I don't think he was touched, so it'll be 3rd down and still 6 for Miami at the Buffalo 14.
Davenport seemed to stumble in the end zone. It may have been a touchdown had he been able to keep his feet. Chuck, it's interesting that they are running that much. I think the teams feel now that they have to be able to run to win. They don't necessarily have to run to win, but they have to be able to run.
Well, Scott Schwades is in the lineup now for the Dolphins, and also Jim Pruitt. Triple wideouts to the left side out of the shotgun. There's Clayton in motion again. And Marino back to looking for his target. Fires, and it's going to be incomplete. Down around the 5-yard line, and a penalty flag is thrown. Derek Burrows on the cover, and the intended receiver was Mark Clayton.
Little discussion on the field, but you can see Marino's pass out here with Burrows coming over the top, and the flag is thrown, but we're having a little discussion on the sidelines now as to whether it was a penalty or not. And apparently the flag was picked up.
It comes right back to the 14, and so there will be no infraction. And Revez is on to try a field goal. It'll be spotted at about the 21. Meaning it'll be a 30 high snap. He got it away. And the kick is good. A 31-yard field goal. And the first score goes to the Miami Dolphins, leading it now 3-0 over the Buffalo Bills. And Revez is just warming up, waiting for the kickoff with the Dolphins leading 3-0. Downfield, Errol Tucker is the return man. He is one of 3. And out to his left side will be Ronnie Harmon, and the other side of him, Rob Riddick. Pretty good scoring drive for the Dolphins. 8 plays, 37 yards, 31-yard field goal by Revez. And it's a 3-0 contest at the moment. And you can see some concern on the face of Coach Marv Levy. That's Tucker, the #1 return man. And he does have company, as we mentioned. Riddick to the right side of him and Ronnie Harmon on the other side. Revez hits it. Pretty good shot. Tucker is backing into the end zone. Will he take it out? Yes, sir. Here he comes. Wedge to this right side. 15, 20, 25, and then bounced out of bounds. Very good return, and the Bills have the ball at about their own 26-yard line. Offensively, it'll be Thurman Thomas again, and along with Mueller as the setbacks for the most part. And the wideouts will be Burkett and Andre Reed. And let's see what Buffalo does right after this.
Here, the memories are waiting. 10 years ago, an unlikely...
Just reminding you, with the Dolphins leading 3-0, that we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for this afternoon's game. At the conclusion of the game, here come the Bills, first down at their 26. And that's Thomas back there, and a play-action fake. And here is Kelly's throw right over the middle, up for grabs. Nobody can get to it. Intended receiver number 85, Chris Burkett. And when they pop up in the air that way, you kind of hold your breath if you're coaching. Bills second down, still 10. At their 26.
The Budweiser MVP, Chuck. This may be the first time in the history of the game an offensive guard has been nominated as the MVP. By me.
By you. Okay. Reed up at the top of your screen to the far side. Split backfield. And Kelly on 2nd and 10. And he's giving it to number 34, Thurman Thomas. And this young man finds a little bit of running room, and you must notice that the Dolphins defensively are somewhat more sturdy this week than they were a week ago against the Bears. It'll be up to the 30-yard line, 2nd down 6 or 3rd down 6. Take a look at the scoreboard. The Redskins 7-3 in the first, and it's 7-0 the Giants over the 49ers in the first quarter, and the Bears out in front of the Colts. Atlanta 7-3 over New Orleans, and the Packers 3-0 in the first over Tampa Bay. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 from the shotgun. Kelly takes a look to the right, down the middle, now goes deep down the far sideline, and he overthrew the intended receiver Burkett around the Dolphin 45. And we're going to see a number that we haven't seen this afternoon. Punter John Kidd is out there for the Buffalo Bills. Downfield, Scott Schwades, number 81, is the lone safety between the Miami 20 and 25. Waiting for Buffalo's punt. And not as good as he wanted to hit it. See what kind of a bounce they get. It is a Buffalo bounce so far, down around the 25, and that's where Miami will take possession. The Dolphins with a 3-0 lead here in Rich Stadium in Buffalo. A 43-yard punt. They'll have the ball when we come back. The Dolphins have the football at their 27. Marino has 5 of 8 for 36 yards so far, and here he comes again with both Clayton and Duper wide to the left side of the Miami set, which at the moment is an eye. See whether they stay with it. There goes Clayton in motion through the backfield. He'll come right back to us again. And the give to the second man, that's Stratford, and he darts up over the 30 and fights for pretty good yardage. Dwight Drain, one of the safeties, made the tackle. A maturing and an improving Troy Stratford, a fellow who is a very quick, if not a power runner, kind of a slashing, darting type runner. And the ball is spotted at 35. Very little time left in the quarter. Let's see if the Dolphins can get a play started. Down to about 11 seconds. That's Jensen in motion and Marino. To again Stratford. He darts into a pretty good hole and hits very close to first down yardage. And that's the last tick of the clock. And at the end of the first period here in Buffalo, it's the Miami Dolphins leading by a count of 3-0, and a Dolphin team that has improved tremendously in a space of 7 days. Period at Rich Stadium in Buffalo, and now you're looking at a capacity crowd with high hopes for the Buffalo Bills this year. And some of the first quarter stats are available. The Dolphins have rushed for 54 yards, the Bills for 11, and passed for 36, and the Bills for 7. That's the story of possession also. Almost 10 minutes for the Dolphins, and half of that for the Bills. So Shula and his team are doing what they hope to be able to do at least through the first quarter.
Certainly a Dolphin quarter.
Out of the standard pro set from their own 38 on a first down. That's Clayton Moulton toward the backfield, play action fake, and now Marino deals down the far sideline. A leaping grab, and is it good or not? Odoms was there to knock him out of bounds. Mark Duper was the receiver. But it is an incomplete forward pass. 2nd and 10, Miami at their own 38.
It's just slightly out of bounds, but watch as Marino comes back with good protection, and Clayton goes up for the ball, or Duper goes up for the ball, and the referee ruled it was out of bounds. Sometimes in that situation, if the defender knocks the guy out of bounds, you can call it a completion, but at that point it was not complete.
2nd down, still 10, and just for the sake of accuracy, it's at the
2nd down.
39-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. And here comes Clayton wide to the right side. The other way goes Duper. And the setbacks are as they were. Bennett and Stratford. Clayton motion. And that's Stratford. Faked in, ducked out. What a nifty move to carry him over the Miami 45 to about the 46, where Cornelius Bennett, again, is the principal tackler.
This young man led all Dolphin rushers and receivers last year, and as a rookie had just an outstanding year. Watch this move to the outside. He dips and goes upfield to the goal line. A nice play, about an 8-yard gain, 7-yard gain.
And it'll be 3rd and 3, another one of those third downs, and Miami has converted them this afternoon, something they had trouble doing against the Bills. Out of the shotgun on 3rd down. Looking left, fires, incomplete. The intended receiver was Jim Pruitt, number 82, and Nate Odoms was there in the coverage. And now we'll take a look at Roby. And downfield, the return man for the Buffalo Bills is number 22, and that is Errol Tucker. Roby, who had just an unexplainable afternoon against Chicago, is going to kick again. Well, he didn't get it as well as he might, and Tucker is asking for the fair catch and makes it at about the Bills' 18, and they have the football. Buffalo in possession at their own 18-yard line, and they're down by a count of 3-0 at Rich Stadium, and we'll be right back.
Today's game is brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, who invites you to come see the full line of cars and trucks. Mitsubishi, suddenly the obvious choice. By the U.S. Army, learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler.
You saw John Hagee coming off the field, Buffalo defensive back. Looks like a knee had been worked on. We hope that he'll be able to see more service. Right now, let's watch Kelly and the Bills from their own 18-yard line. And they give straight ahead to Jamie Mueller. And Mueller is out over the 20 near the 23-yard line. That's almost a 5-yard pickup before T.J. Turner, among others, was able to knock him down. Here's Mueller.
We don't expect either one of these teams to win the game by rushing the ball, and yet they have to rush the ball to make their passing game work. So far, Buffalo has rushed the ball 6 times versus 4 passes, and I should think we would see them open up soon.
The new number to look at, number 35 on the Buffalo backfield, is Carl Byram. It is Byram in motion, and the give into the middle, coming hard is Thomas, and there's not too much of a hole as he gets near the 27-yard line. Mark Brown is credited with tackle for Miami. See where they spot the ball, and it'll be 3rd down and, kind of a short 2.
Both teams playing awfully cautious, probing. No mistakes, no errors. Don't give anybody anything. Just be careful.
Burkett wide to the left side of the set. Byram is still in that backfield, along with Thurman Thomas. There goes Byram in motion. The pitch to Thomas to the right side. He cuts it back, and the tackle is made by Mark Brown, number 51. And you hear some unhappy Buffalo fans here at Rich Stadium as the Bills now will have to kick the ball away.
Take a look at Thomas now as he tries to go outside. A quick pitch by Kelly, and really nowhere to go. It's just a fine tackle there by Brown coming up to stop him short of a 1st down.
All ready to do the punting. That's John Kidd. Waiting downfield is Scott Schwades for the Dolphins. Pretty good pressure, and he kind of had to hurry it a little bit. It takes a Buffalo bounce and is going to be rolling dead between the 35 and 40-yard line of the Dolphins, who will again have the football. And they also have a 3-0 lead, and you can see that Coach Levy of the Bills is just a little bit concerned, and that man feels a lot better. And the Dolphins have a 31-yard field goal and a 3-0 lead as Marino takes over. Now, Marino was hit on 5 of 10 for 36 yards, but his last 4 passes have been incomplete. The Dolphins also have been able to run the ball against a good defensive unit of the Buffalo Bills. Lead back is Bennett. That's Clayton in motion toward Marino. And that's Lorenzo Hampton on the pitch back, and he hammers out some pretty good yardage up over the 40-yard line. And the tackle is made by the nose tackle you see on the screen, number 76, Fred Smerlis. They spot the ball near the 41. 2nd down and about 5. Looking into the defensive unit. Selected to the Pro Bowl, as you see, in 80 and also in 83. And the split backfield. That's Bruce Hardy, the tight end, coming over to set on the right side. Marino is going to throw. Looks right down the middle. Has some time. Pumps once. Look out. Hit from behind. The ball is free. And I don't know whose possession it'll be. Looked like it could have been Buffalo. Watching Marino, and number 72 is Art Still, who hit him from behind and jarred the ball loose. And the Bills have recovered, and I think Scott Radisick is going to get fumble recovery. Buffalo with a great break. First down at the Dolphin 39. Kelly out of a split backfield is going to throw in first down. Has good protection, then ran right into the arms of a Miami tackler, and that's J.T. Turner. He took just one look too many, and Turner was able to get him down. You have to give credit to the Miami Dolphins secondary for excellent coverage. A loss of about 3, make it second down 13. Watching Kelly. Back to throw, has time, drills it to this side, caught at the Dolphin 30-yard line. Number 83 is Andre Reed. And the Buffalo Bills suddenly come to life. William Judson makes the tackle.
We both know that the quarterbacks are ultimately going to throw the ball. Kelly goes back and catches Andre Reed right in the middle, who runs an excellent route and is descended upon by the Dolphin defense immediately, just short of a first down.
Rob Riddick has now come into the Buffalo backfield, number 40. And he's the deep back behind the up back, Jamie Mueller. This will be third down and about a yard. Make it Carl Byron. The second back, that's Riddick, stumbles across the 30 and may have first down yardage. Hit coming into the hole. Down on the bottom of the pile again was Eric Kumerow, who may have made the first contact. It's very close. We'll wait for them to spot the ball and see whether they indicate or whether they measure, and it appears that they will measure. Let's take a look at some scores. It's 7-6, the Skins over the Steelers in the second. 7-3 Giants over San Francisco, also the second. And the Bears 7-3 over Indianapolis. 14-3 New Orleans trailing Atlanta. And it's Green Bay 10-0 over Tampa Bay. And you know by crowd reaction it is a first down for Buffalo at the Miami 28. And Kelly brings him on the ball. He's got Thurman Thomas way out to the left side of the set. That's Chris Burkett in motion. Kelly a straight drop, looking to throw, fires down the middle, and he's got his receiver and taken down immediately. Looked like Andre Reed. John Offerdahl makes the tackle, and it was Andre on the reception. A little shoving and pushing, and things are getting expectedly a little hotter as we move through the 8-minute mark of the second period. You just had to know that it was only a matter of time before Buffalo's offense started to click just a little bit. They kind of stuttered in the opening periods. Now they're beginning to play the way they are capable of playing in possession at the Miami 23. Second down. Motion man again is Burkett to the far side. And here's Kelly with a look to the left, now down the middle. Fires over the middle. It's incomplete. Again, he was intending for Andre Reed. And on the coverage, number 44, Paul Langford, one of the Miami corners. Incomplete, third down. Still about 5 yards. And the ball just at near the 23.
Kelly showing good discipline, throwing that ball tight underneath the linebackers, trying to go for 5, 6, 7 yards at a time, not going for the long bomb all the way, just control the ball, move it down the field slowly but surely.
Out of the shotgun on third down. Kelly looking for a target. Gets a little bit of pressure. Far sideline. Touchdown Buffalo. Is he out of bounds? No, sir. Rob Riddick is out of bounds. The official indicated immediately. Bud Brown was in coverage for the Dolphins. Talk about a tough break for the Buffalo Bills.
An excellent pass by Kelly, and Riddick, the official indicated, did not have possession of the ball. He gave us a couple, 2 or 3 up in the air, and he just didn't quite have a hold of it before he got out of bounds. Must have been bobbling it a little bit behind us, according to the officials. Watch it here from the front side. He just hasn't quite got it put away.
Yep, still bobbling.
Still bobbling it as he went out of bounds. So close.
Well, I don't know whether they've called for another look at it or not, but let's take a look at it one more time.
Now, he has to have possession of the ball and bring both feet down at one time. Now, watch the ball very closely. He starts to put it under his arm, but you'll see right here how it's still flopping around a little bit, and he just doesn't have control of it or possession of it as he goes out of bounds. It looks like from here. And that was the initial signal from the referee, the 2 hands going up and down, indicating lack of control or lack of possession.
Still waiting to hear. And one more look. Looks like a catch right there, but when you look at it from the other angle, you see the body turning a little bit. He was juggling, but did he have control of the ball? And the officials have agreed with a call on the field. He did not have possession. He was bobbling, not in control when he went out of bounds. Now spotted at the 32-yard line. And the kicker is Scott Norwood. Waiting for the snap. Hold on. Time is requested and granted.
45-second clock operating. Please set the clock at 28 seconds.
Well, the 45-second clock has to be reset. So we'll wait a little longer. They jump it up to 28. I think that's the accepted time. And it'll be a 42-yard effort. Actually, take the nearest yard line and make it a 41. And this is an effort to tie the game. Did Norwood do it? Yes, sir. Norwood hits it from 42, and we've got a tie ball game in Rich Stadium, and a capacity crowd is very, very happy about the tie, but not so happy about the official's call on the touchdown pass. And a 3-3 tie. This kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. And waiting down on the goal line will be Jarvis Williams and Lorenzo Hampton. Kick is a little bit shallow, and that will be Jarvis Williams on the far sideline. And tripped up crossing the 30 and is held at about the 34. So the Dolphins have the football in pretty good field position at their own 34.
A lot of excitement, a lot of energy, a lot of intensity on that Dolphin football team, exemplified by the return on that kickoff. Bodies flying through the air. Jaws clenched. People very determined down there on both sides of the football.
Well, I think it was Coach Shula that said that, you know, we're just not that bad a football team, but we have to prove to people that we're not that bad. In motion is Jensen. And taken down in the backfield, Lorenzo Hampton. The tackle credit will be Shane Conlon.
Shane Conlon.
What great penetration he had.
Excellent penetration by Shane Conlon, 58, the linebacker. Watch him right in the middle of your screen. Shed the blocker right here, and bingo. A tackle behind the line of scrimmage takes Hampton down for about a yard loss. But that's what they must do. They must stop that Dolphin running game and force him into throwing the ball and then hurry Marino.
Second down, about 12. Marino with time drills it, and it looks like the big tight end Hardy on the receiving end, and that's who it is. Dwight Drain makes the tackle.
And Marino is a hard man to pressure. Gets rid of the ball extremely quick. Good timing, a good sense of everyone on the field, and difficult to put pressure on, and extremely difficult to sack.
We're going to pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Third down and about 4. Here comes Marino. Scott Schwade's coming out wide to the right side. Clayton is on the left side. They've got 4 wideouts on third down and 4. And they give to Jensen. Jensen off the left side has got the first down and a lot more. Down to Buffalo's 45. Mark Kelso is the man that brought him down. A 15-yard pickup by Jensen. A quarterback, a sometimes tight end, a wide receiver, and a running back.
So nice to be able to run the ball every once in a while. Jensen, as Chuck said, plays all positions. Nice blocking up front, and just a well-called, well-designed play. Takes it downfield for about 14 yards.
They got Farrell Edmonds on now as one of those tight ends, and he's a wing to the left side right now. Davenport and Stratford are the setbacks. Back to go throw is Marino. He dumps it off, and Stratford almost went down, picked it up, and got about to the 40. Derek Burrows is given credit for the tackle. Well, the Steelers now lead the Skins 13-10 in the second, 10-7. The Giants are trailing in the second quarter. And a 7-6 Bears over Indianapolis, also second period. Atlanta now 14-6 over the Saints in the second, and that raises a few eyebrows. Green Bay 10-7 over Tampa Bay, also in the second period. Second down and about 6. At the 41. That's Clayton in motion. And it goes to the big back, and that's Woody Bennett. And big he is, but no hole to get into, and you need some kind of help. And the reason he didn't get anywhere was the nose tackle. Fred Smerlis was there to fill it up. And he does that very well. Give him credit for a yard into about the 39-yard line.
Fred Smerlis, in his 10th year, as we watch Woody Bennett go off the field, is having an excellent year so far. Is that whole Bill defensive line, a mature defensive line.
Well, Jim Jensen is in there right alongside of the quarterback Marino. Third down, about 5. That's Clayton's motion. Whoa, the Bills may have jumped off. Penalty flags are down. Marino is going for it. And he's got Clayton. Buffalo 30, 25 and a fall. And Marino's option, of course, is to decline the penalty and take the gain.
The old free play option, as we've heard about so many times. It appeared that everyone knew that Art Still had jumped offside, and so we got a free play, and let's run it out, and exactly what the Dolphins did. A nice completion to Clayson down on the 23-yard line.
Duper wide to the left side. And, of course, that'll put Clayton the other way. And the lone back is Woody Bennett. He waits for it and gets a little bit of blocking and manages to wedge it inside the 20-yard line, and they're kind of battling as if the ball is loose. Buffalo indicates that they have possession, and you're right in there with them. How'd you like to call it?
They're still digging in the pile, trying to find out who's got the ball. Freddie Smerlis is down there on the bottom of that pile somewhere. And still 2 or 3 Dolphins tangled up with Freddie. And Derek Burrows is on top there. But here we go. Take a look at it. Bennett coming in the hole. Gets hit by Ray Bentley first.
Yes.
And now there it is. There it is.
It's loose, but who's got it? Buffalo, Leon Seals.
Bennett picks up about 3 or 4 yards before the fumble occurs. You watch very closely, we can see the fumble come out right here before that knee touches the ground. And then it's just a mad scramble, a pile up, and big Leon Seals comes out of the pile with the football for Buffalo. Leon's kind of setting it on there, and Nate Odoms is trying to get it out from under him, but Leon Seals is given credit for the recovery.
Lone setback behind Kelly is Byram. Kelly looks to the right, throws to the right, and he's got his man at the 40. Incomplete drop ball, and it's a loose ball, and Miami is going to fall on it and try to return it. That is a catch and a fumble recovery. Andre Reed was the receiver, and the recovery goes to number 23, Jarvis Williams.
I can't keep my cards straight. Changing hands, the ball so quickly. Watch as Kelly throws the ball to Andre Reed. Let's see if he has possession here. 1, 2, 3. Bingo. And then hit from behind, and the ball is fumbled, knocked loose by the defensive back, and Jarvis Williams, number 26, falls on the ball, decides that, hey, I might as well get up and run with this pill, and tries.
Dolphins with the ball at their own 48-yard line. There is Clayton, the motion man. He's been almost every play. Marino looks to the right, now looks back to the left, lets it go, and he's got his man inside the 50. Oh, what a move at the 45-yard line. That's the running back, Troy Stratford, and Darrell Talley is the man who stopped the motion, a 7-yard pickup.
Troy Stratford's an exciting young football player. As we said, this is his second year, and he's just going to get better and better and better. Watch him coming out of the backfield. This is one of Marino's favorite targets. Leading receiver last year, does a little square out and attempts a move right here that I haven't seen for a while. Watch this. Boom.
Like
going to go
running
back
broad
and around.
jump, and then decided to go elsewhere. Second down, about 4 at the Buffalo 46. Woody Bennett, the front man. Behind him is the exciting youngster Stratford. That's Stratford. A head fake to the left, and he attracted a lot of company, and the lead man was Cornelius Bennett.
A nice block by Woody Bennett, the fullback there, to help Stratford up into the line.
At about the 43. And that'll be a third down and about a yard. Time remaining about 2:12 in the first half. And we don't know whether they'll get the play off or not. Marino 9 for 14, a total of 72 yards. They did not get it off as we've run down to the 2-minute warning. Marino 9 for 14, 72 yards, and Stratford has rushed 6 times for 30 yards. A 3-3 tie in Rich Stadium. The Miami Dolphins, who last week could not turn a third down conversion, are this afternoon 4 for 7 and are looking at another one right now with a third and about a yard at the Buffalo 43 as we head into the final 2 minutes of the first half.
Critical play right here. We've got 2 minutes left, third down and 1. We've been running the ball well, controlling the ball pretty well with the exception of a couple of fumbles. It'd be nice to score right here before the half for the Miami Dolphins and go in the locker room with a 10-3 lead instead of a 3-3 tie.
And a very big moment for the Buffalo Bills if they're able to stop the Dolphins at this moment. But it was one of the games that was talked about considerably because of what happened a week ago. The Minnesota Vikings just manhandled the Dolphins in preseason, which really doesn't mean that much. And then the Bears came right back and busted them in the opening game. Meantime, these people handled the Vikings very well to the Buffalo Bills in most departments. So it was kind of a very interesting matchup going in this afternoon, and we have not seen a thing to disappoint us. Out of the eye on third down and a yard. Bennett is the up back. That's Bruce Hardy in motion. The give goes to Hampton, fumbled the ball. Hampton fumbled the ball, and we'll see who recovery credit will go to. I don't know whether the handoff was a little bit low, and he just never will take a look at it.
Never got the ball, Chuck. Never got the ball. It was well, he got a hold of it, but never was able to put it away. Marino put it in the midsection, and just Hampton never got a hold of it, never got control of it.
Well, Miami's still in possession of the ball. It's 4th down, still a yard at the Buffalo 43, and the Miami Dolphins are going to take a timeout. A concerned Marino has had a pretty good afternoon. As a matter of fact, after a first quarter in which the Buffalo Bills just seem not to quite be in sync, they too have begun to play as they're capable. And the ball bouncing around, I think, is perhaps indicative of the type of action that we're looking at. These people are coming after each other as professionals should, and there's been a lot of solid impact.
A lot of intensity out there today. Both of these teams are really high and really up for this football game. Ancient rivalry. They've been hating each other for years and years here.
Well, after, from 1970 to 1979, the Bills were 0 for 20. Here is the 4th down, and out downfield is Errol Tucker, and waiting to do the punting for the Dolphins is Reggie Roby on 4th down and about a yard. See if Roby hits one. Not a very good snap, but he hits this one a lot better. Tucker is just kind of running away from it. The Dolphins are going to try and cover it around the 10. It takes a Bills bounce and rolls up over the 15 before they're able to slow it down. David Fry was able to down the ball. Tucker has done a pretty good job of conning people. He gets 15 or 20 yards away from the football and looks like he's going to catch it.
It's not been a Reggie Roby kind of day again, Chuck. His first punt was about 33 yards. The second one, 35. You can see him on the sidelines there. He's a little hot. We chatted a little bit yesterday, and I said, what happened in Chicago? And he said, you tell me. I don't know. Well, he's still having a little trouble today.
Coming out wide to the left side is Andre Reed for the Buffalo Bills. Burkett then is wide to the right. And the hand is going to go to Thomas. Thomas is sweeping outside, stopped at the 20, and is going to be pinned and held by Judson at about the, call it the 21-yard line.
I'd like to have seen him got out of bounds there. Maybe if he could have, with a minute 20 remaining, it'd be nice to stop that clock and save all the time you could. It doesn't look like the Bills are going to try to stop the clock, though.
Second down and about 3. A little longer than that. Again, they've got Reed wide left, and the other way it's Burkett. Waiting for Kelly's takeaway. That's Byram in motion. And to give to Thomas, and right down the middle he goes. Thurman on a quick hitter is out to the 30, and that's a first down with 45 seconds showing on the clock.
The crowd a little unhappy about the conservative play calling of the Buffalo Bills. They took the recovered the ball with about a minute and a half to go, and they seemed to be content to run the clock out and go into the locker room with a 3-3 tie. They look at Marv Levy there with a headset on the sideline. Very conservative call.
I would say it was a very conservative call. First down at about the 30. And a handoff again. And the fans boo as Thurman Thomas just dives into a bunch to run out the clock and complete. We've got a little bit of a scuffle out around the 35-yard line. Penalty flag has been dropped. And the gun has sounded to, well, now I heard a gun, but there's still 3 seconds up on the clock. Chris Burkett, wide receiver. And we'll see what the officials have to say about the problem. The ball is back to the 30-yard line.
Buffalo just trying to run the clock out. Jim Kelly goes back and hands the ball off and takes a pretty good lick in the backfield. Both the Buffalo Bills fans and the Dolphins unhappy with that play.
There'll be no play. Second down, still at the 30. 3 seconds on the clock to end the first half, and the Bills have one more play. And Kelly is going to call for another timeout. He wants to be sure of what Marv Levy wants him to do. And we've got a capacity crowd a little bit unhappy with the Bills this afternoon at Rich Stadium. But I think Jerry Kramer has made a very valid point. They have played a most conservative first half. NBC Sports begins its coverage of the 1988 Summer Olympic Games this Thursday night at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, and Mountain Time with a special preview. Meet the men and women of the Games, 11,000 strong from over 160 nations, all sharing a common dream of Olympic gold. And on Friday, NBC presents coverage of one of the grandest spectacles on earth, the opening ceremony of the Games of the 24th Olympiad. The Olympics are live and only on NBC. Well, they're just going to fall on the ball, and then that'll be the end of the first half. And more booing. Well, sometimes it's a little difficult to satisfy the fan. Jim Kelly, 4 for 9 with 53 yards and an intercepted pass in the first half. And it has been a game played for the most part kind of under wraps, which I hope is an indication that the second half will be a little bit more wide open and filled with more scoring. Both of these clubs are capable of it.
Both teams seem to be playing not to lose instead of trying to win.
Coming up at halftime, NFL Live with scores and features after these words from your local station. Stats, you see that the Dolphins have fumbled 3 times. And the Bills have fumbled 1 time. And there were 2 very unusual things in this first half. Number 1 was the end of the first half. With about a minute and a half left to play, the Bills decided that they were going to play very, very conservatively and just run out the clock. That surprised me. And the other interesting point was a judgment call on the part of the official that took what appeared to be a Buffalo touchdown away, but thankfully the camera angles were there to show that in the judgment of the official right on the spot down here that Reddick never had control of the football. Watch the official right here, right in your picture. He is still trying to get control of the ball, bouncing up around his right shoulder, and the official right on top of the play wiped it out.
His immediate reaction was to call no play. Now watch his hands go up and down. We don't see it further, but even Rob Reddick didn't dispute the call, Chuck. We got a quick shot of him going back along the sideline, a little smile on his face, a little disappointment on his face, but I think he realized that he too did not have possession of that ball, did not have control of it.
Well, there are a lot of people here in the stadium, I'm sure, would argue that point, and they'll probably be talking about it for quite a while this week. But I think if they see the replay that NBC was able to show, I think they would agree that the man on the spot made the right call.
Well, it was a very close play, and it's like the game. It's a very close game, exciting game to me. It's conservative. You know, both teams have run the ball a lot more than they normally do. I think Miami has had 15 runs, 14 passes. Not the normal Miami kind of game. The Buffalo Bills are playing the same kind of game. They've had 13 runs, 9 passes. Both, as we said earlier, both teams trying not to lose the game.
Well, it was this man's decision at the end of the first half to decide to play it as conservatively as he did, and all of the coaches in Rich Stadium this afternoon disagreed. They booed and booed lustily. Time might tell that was exactly the right thing to do.
That's right.
But he was the man who had to make the decision, did Levy, and this man looked somewhat better, I'm sure, than he did at halftime a week ago. We're referring, of course, to Don Shula. The quarterbacks in the first half of the ball game, Kelly was 4 for 9 with an interception, 53 yards, and Marino 9 for 14 with 72 yards. We're still looking for a touchdown. The only one that came close was that juggling pass on the part of Riddick, and that was wiped out. It has been conservatively played, and we hope that the second half of the game will be a little bit more wide open.
I'm sure they're going to air the ball out a little bit the second half, Chuck. You can only keep those thoroughbreds under control so long. They're going to start audibling at the line of scrimmage. They're going to start putting the ball in the air.
Well, you remember in our talk with Marv Levy yesterday, he pointed out a couple of things about the win over the Minnesota Vikings, and he said, I don't want people to overrate us. There were some things that we're really concerned about. There were 2 or 3 scoring opportunities against the Vikings that they didn't, do their job on. And we'll elaborate on those in just a moment after I tell you the kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. The Bills settled for a field goal after a first down at the Vikes 9. They missed a 42-yard field goal. A drive ended inside the Vikes 10 with an interception, and they only got a field goal after getting a turnover at the Vikings 11. So those were some of the things that Levy was concerned about. All ready to go. Revez kicking off. Down on the goal line, it should be Errol Tucker. Let's see what he's hit this one pretty good. Back into the end zone. Riddick is not going to bring it out of there, and he will down it in the end zone. And the Bills will take over at their own 20.
Riddick missed about 4 weeks of preseason play with a suspension, and he really isn't back into the flow of things yet. One of their workhorse backs, but he just isn't quite into the rhythm of the game yet.
Well, we have another discussion over on the far side of the field around the 10-yard line. And we'll see whether it looked like the penalty was indicated against Buffalo. An illegal block. We'll talk it over a little more.
The indication was an illegal cut or blocking below the waist.
Right on the part of the Bills. Now we will converse a little more. And get the explanation right now from Johnny Greer.
Personal foul. Low block. 89 receiving team.
And that is Steve Tasker.
Coach Levy a little mystified by the low block call.
Yep.
Kind of bewildered on the sideline there, wondering exactly what that was.
Well, it usually is not, one of the more interesting football games when so much of it is taken up in official discussions. And we've had quite a little bit of it here this afternoon. Number one, the job of the official is to get it right, and that's exactly what they're doing, being very certain that whatever decision they decide upon is going to be the correct one. Take a look at some of the first half stats. First downs, 7-3, favoring the Dolphins, and look at that rushing yardage. 88 for the Dolphins and only 33 for the Bills. 70 yards passing to 50. Total yardage 158 to 83. Passing, as we mentioned a little while ago. Turnovers 2 each. Time of possession, the Dolphins had it. But with 18 minutes of possession, we're not able to score a touchdown. Now Revez will get a chance to kick the ball again. Right up around midfield. And Riddick and Tucker will be deep.
I'm not sure what's happening here, Chuck.
Don't ask me. Ronnie Harmon is also down there. A trio of return men. Revez hits it, just pops it up. And to help the coverage. And it's taken by Riddick at the 10. And that's about as far as he's going to get. Jim Jensen, among others, arriving at the scene. So the Bills and Kelly have the football. And they'll be starting somewhere around their own 10. We'll wait till they spot the ball. Could call it the 11-yard line. Now the Miami Dolphins have lost their left guard, Roy Foster, with an injured ankle, and he will not return, we're told, unfortunately. Another man who's been out for the Buffalo Bills is Jamie Mueller, and Carl Byam has been in there for all of the second quarter. And he's the only setback behind quarterback Kelly, who drops and leads. Beautiful catch by Reed, crossing the 30-yard line, and a first down for the Buffalo Bills. give William Judson, among others, tackle credit.
You can't help but wonder if there wasn't some discussion about that conservative play in the first half. The Bills come out and open up the second half with a shot to Reed down coming across the middle. An excellent pass by Jimmy Kelly for a nice gain to start the second half.
Now Thurman Thomas is set out wide to the right side, and in a slot alongside of him is Burkett. And there goes Burkett in motion through the Bill backfield. We're watching Kelly with a takeaway. No fake, wants to throw, has some time. Carefully thrown pass, caught at about the Buffalo 44. Well, you talk about making a heck of a good catch. The Dolphins were all over the receiver, Andre Reed. John Offendahl, among others, and Rick Graff in there to make the tackle. Take a look at this. The scores. The Steelers 13-10 over Washington. 10-10 tie. The Giants and the 49ers 10-5. The Bears, or 10-3, the Bears. And it's Tampa Bay 10-10. And Atlanta leading New Orleans 14-12 at the 45-yard line. First down for the Buffalo Bills. That's Metzeler in motion, and here he is going to the air again. Kelly lets it go deep downfield, and it is caught by Thurman Thomas. And out of bounds at the Miami Dolphin 21, and that's exactly what the Buffalo Bill fans have been waiting to see. Lippert Hobley knocked him out of bounds.
That brings all the fans to their feet, the coaching fans. This is Kelly's third consecutive pass in a row in the second half. You watch Thurman Thomas come into your screen here, number 34, swings out of the backfield, takes the pass down to about the 20-yard line.
First down for the Bills at the Dolphin 21. That's Metzeler in motion. And that's Thomas again, darting into looking for a hole, punches his way inside the 20. Jarvis Williams, among other white-clad Dolphins, get to him at about the 18. Second down, 7 for the Bills at that spot. 3-3 tie. And in the opening minutes of the second half, the Bills are driving. They've started from their own 11 and are now down at the Dolphin 18. Actually inside it. Split backfield. That's Byron, and of course, Thomas back there. Here's Kelly's pass over the middle. And he's got his receiver, Reed, who is inside the 10. William Judson helping on the tackle. First down.
Andre Reed caught 8 passes last week, and you can see why. Underneath the linebackers, right in the middle, not afraid to go into the middle and catch the ball. Good, sure-handed receiver.
Reed going out wide to the right side. The other way, it's Burkett. And the same duo of running backs. Waiting for Kelly's takeaway. That's Metzeler in motion. That's to Thomas. And he is stuck, and stuck good by number 55 as he got down around the yard line. That's number 56, John Offerdahl. Shy of the 5.
Bills have to score here if they're going to do anything. They're down on the 7-yard line. Second down, goal to go. You've got to score in this kind of situation. No mistakes.
From the 7. Lone setback, Byron. A shallow drop. Has plenty of time. Got hit from behind. And it is going to be recovered down around the 5-yard line. And let's see what the official figures. The arm is moving forward, or whether it's a fumble. And Kelly is knocked loose of the football, and the Dolphins have recovered at the 6-yard line.
No mistakes, no mistakes. Watch Kelly get hit from behind. Paul Langford, number 44, blitzing from outside. Cornerback position. Catches Kelly totally unaware, hits him from the blind side before he can release the ball. Fumble, Miami ball.
Well, a great break for the Miami Dolphins, still wrapped up in a 3-3 tie, and about 11 minutes remaining, and we'll be right back.
Today's game is brought to you by Mazda and the exciting new Mazda cars and trucks for 1989. By Coors Light, there's no slowing down with a silver bullet. It's the right beer now. And by Goodyear Certified Auto Service, nobody fits you like Goodyear.
All ready to go. First down, Dolphins 6-yard line on the fumble recovery. And this is Stratford darting off the left side, maybe to the 10-yard line, before the defensive flow is able to stop him. Leon Seals, the defensive end on that side, helped out. Second down, 6 now. The ball at the Dolphin 10.
And this will certainly test your running game down in your own backyard. Obviously, the Bills trying desperately to hold the Dolphins down there so that they can get the ball back and get a score.
Farrell Edmonds, that huge tight end, is on the right end of the line. There he is right there for the Dolphins. Split backfield, second down, about 6. The motion man is Clayton again. And the handoff to Stratford, started right, darts back, and is pummeled crossing the 10-yard line. Number 72, Art Still, right up in the top to make the tackle. His forward progress is about to the 12.
Troy Stratford in his rookie year with 10th in the league in rushing, 13th in the league in receiving, 6th in total yards, and tied for 9th in scoring as a rookie.
As a rookie. Yeah. Third down conversions, the Dolphins, as you see, are 4 for 8. And they go to the shotgun with double wideouts both sides. Clayton motion. Marino to throw. Jensen flares out over the middle. Caught at the 32-yard line, and down goes the receiver. And on the receiving end, it looked like it was James Pruitt, and that's who it is, number 82. Kelso makes the tackle.
You can't give Dan Marino a lot of time back there. Those two running plays didn't gain a lot of yardage, but they gained a lot of time for Dan Marino. He has plenty of time to go back and throw the ball and let Pruitt run a rather deep route downfield. Bingo. And an excellent pass on the money. Completion, first down.
Well, Stratford's going to get a little breather right now. Bennett is still there, and it looks like Lorenzo Hampton now is alongside of him. First down at the Dolphin 32. Again, motion, Clayton. And Marino on first down, looks left, wants to throw, still looking left, now get rid of it. Out in the sideline, he's got his man to the 40, and out of bounds goes Clayton. It's going to be very close to first down yardage. And it is a first down.
Big Leon Seals was putting a little pressure on Marino that time. Dan had to kind of throw. Watch big number 96 come from the left side of your screen right there. Dan had to kind of throw around him, but a well-thrown ball, long distance, off balance, and first down.
Clayton saw the first down marker, and here is the pitch back. And again, here comes Stratford. Left side, good run, and down the far sideline. And then with one of those unusual moves, stops, duck a tackler, and fell out of bounds. Cornelius Bennett was running him down, and the penalty flag has been dropped.
We're gonna have to call that the Stratford stop. Never seen a guy stop quite that suddenly.
And we're going to have yet another penalty.
Like holding Miami.
Uh-oh. Well,
Holding. 85 offense. Still first down.
that's Mark Duper. First down.
Watch Troy Stratford, number 23, circling around the left end. And there's Clayton, 85. You can see the jersey come away from the defensive back's shoulder pads as the holding occurred.
All ready to go. Marino talking to Bennett. And the Dolphins are set. He gives it to Bennett. Big hole. Booms through and is in Buffalo territory to about the 46. Shane Conlon. Well, stay tuned to NBC Sports today for the second half of our football doubleheader. Some of you will see the Raiders take on the Oilers or the Browns hosting the Jets, plus regional action. Check local listings for the game in your area. Your team plays here on NBC. The injured Dolphin is Bruce Hardy. One of the unsolicited and unsung types in the National Football League. He's been a productive player for the Dolphins for a couple of years. Not a very speedy. He's injured on this play, and we'll be back to the action for you right after this. Hardy injured Dolphin as the Dolphins have the first down at the Bill 46. Edmonds is a tight end now on the right end of the line. Watch motion again by Clayton. And Marino play action fake. Wants to throw. Pumps once. Goes for broke. Down the far sideline. Incomplete. And Duper is more than a little bit unhappy. He felt contact was made that prevented him from getting to the ball, and another penalty flag has been thrown.
He may be right. He certainly felt strongly about it, didn't he?
We showed you Bruce Hardy a moment ago, and this was the play that saw him get injured. Here is on the left side of the screen. Here's Hardy coming in.
Number 84 there.
First down.
Nate Odom's the guilty party, and it'll be a first down. A first down for the Dolphins, and the ball resting at the Bills' 41.
And there goes Bruce Hardy into the locker room. Here's another angle. You can see number 84
That's
right
where
in the
it
middle
occurred
of the
right
screen.
there.
Yeah.
See the left foot, or rather the right foot, knocked out from underneath him, and that's what did the damage. First down for the Dolphins at the Bills' 41. Jensen in motion. Handoff. He started and decided to ad-lib. Troy Stratford, and that was not a wise decision. He might have been better off had he been kept right on going. Hal Garner, among others, to get in there and stop him for a loss back to the Bills' 46. Up and down 15.
Marino had excellent time on the pass play prior to that, whatever that was. I'm not sure what that thing was, but the Bills have got to get pressure on Marino if they're going to keep him out of that end zone.
Well, the Tigers, who have found it very rough going, are leading the Yanks 2-1 in the fourth. It's a 2-2 tie, Cleveland-Boston. And let's get back to the Dolphins on a second down and 15. Marino is going to put it up, dumps it off to Stratford with the screen. Stratford waits for the block, darts inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Ray Bentley, number 50, got there first. Spotted at the 38. And it'll be third down and 7.
Still a very controlled offense. Still very tight underneath the linebackers. Let's get 6, let's get 7. Throw a couple long ones, but most of the offense has been underneath.
Now Jensen and Clayton are flanking quarterback Marino on this third down and 7. Clayton, and he cannot pull it down. Pass thrown a bit behind him, and he could not wait. Dwight Drain was there putting pressure and helping to break up the play, so the Dolphins will have to kick it away on this fourth down. And here comes Roby. Roby was not too happy.
All the Bills really want to do is get their hands up and get a little pressure on Marino. There wasn't a lot of pressure there, but the ball was thrown behind the receiver.
Well, Roby punted 3 times in the first half for an average of 31.3, and that's not the Roby I know. This is more like the Roby I've known. Getting down at about the 5, bouncing in the air, and the Dolphins covered at about the 6-yard line. So the Bills will be going to work at their own 6-yard line. We've got 6:12 remaining in the third quarter. That was a 32-yard punt, and we'll be right back. Well, Reggie Roby, you see the numbers, 31.2. Certainly he is somewhat better than that. It was in this part that he had the longest punt of his career, 77 yards. This last one, he was not trying to kick for distance. He was kicking for hand time. You can see the advantage. The Dolphins have the Bills starting from their own 6-yard line. And Jamie Mueller is back into the Buffalo lineup again. In motion, Metzelar. And the give to Jamie Mueller. And he punched a couple of yards. Let's go now to New York and Gale Sills.
In Washington this afternoon, the Pittsburgh Steelers have now taken a 19-10 lead over the Redskins. Bubby Brister does the work here for Pittsburgh, a 6-yard touchdown run. He takes a dive into the end zone. The flag is against Washington. 19-10, the Steelers now on top.
No, they did rule it incomplete. Andre Reed, not the biggest receiver, but he is not at all hesitant about getting in the middle to try and get the job done. Reed has 6 catches for 89 yards. And you're talking about a man who stands 6 feet, 190 pounds.
And will go in the middle.
Yes, he will.
Time after time after time.
Offered all, shaken. John is going to the sideline to get a little respite. And it might be Chris Gaines. We'll take a check and see. We're ready to go. Burkett is wide to the left side of the set. And from the shotgun, low snap, but Kelly's up with it out of the end zone. He starts to run. Kelly's got all the room in the world. Out of 20 to the sideline to the 25, and he'll take it out of bounds at that spot. Kelly took advantage very alertly, and he was very close to being in trouble in the end zone, and alertly runs it out for a first down and breathing room for the Bills.
An obvious passing situation, 3rd and 9. And these linebackers drop deep and quickly. Kelly sees the room, and believe me, there was like 30 or 40 yards between him and the defensive man when he started to run. So he comes out of the end zone up to about the 28-yard line for a first down.
Reed is set out wide to the left side. The other way, it's Burkett. And a first down from the 28. That's Burkett in motion. And here's Kelly looking for a target. Far sideline. He's got his man. And that is Thomas. And Thurman is ripped out at about the 40-yard line. Paul Langford was over there. And a first down for the Bills. 12-yarder. Still a 3-3 tie. We've got 5:15 remaining in the 3rd quarter. This has been anything but an exciting game scoring. It has had its moments, but for the most part, they are playing it close to the vest in Buffalo this afternoon. At the 40, first down. Again, Burkett. And Kelly wants to throw. Oh, the blitz, and they've nailed him. Back around the 29-yard line. Brick defense from the Dolphins. Hugh Green led the way in there. And T.J. Turner was also among those. Graff was there. That's the 3rd sack of Jim Kelly this afternoon.
Watch Hugh Green, number 55 on the outside, as T.J. Turner gets there first, number 95, and Hugh Green arrives to help with the sack and say hello.
2nd down, 18. Kelly is 9 for 15 and 142 yards with an intercept. And those numbers are building up, and they sound kind of good, but the scoreboard still says 3-3. Now they send Thurman Thomas wide to the left side, and the slot inside him is Burkett. Back to throw is Kelly again. Pump fake, and he throws right over the middle, and it popped loose. It might be a fumble, and it's grabbed by the Miami Dolphins, number 55, Hugh Green. And will they allow it? Trumaine Johnson, the receiver. And it is Miami ball.
Watch as Trumaine Johnson catches the ball here and takes a good hit, bing, right here, and the ball just flies in the air and takes one bounce, and Hugh Green picks it up right here and returns the ball down the field. Miami ball. Big break.
Now see if they can take advantage of that with something other than a field goal. The ball resting at the Bills' 27.
Now the situation that Marino loves, that over-the-shoulder pass to Duper.
Well, he's got Duper right, Clayton left, and Bennett the lone setback. Shallow drop, looking left, throws left. He's got the big tight end. That's Edmonds. And that big man is down the far sideline to somewhere around Buffalo 17. Darryl Talley is able to run him out of bounds. Talk about size of a tight end, and when you look at Farrell Edmonds from Maryland, he is 6'6", 248 pounds.
248 pounds, Chuck, and a 16 shoe, a size 16 shoe, and runs a 40-yard in 4.6. That's heavy.
They're going to measure to see whether or not Farrell has picked up the first.
He had a reception against Washington in the preseason, a 71-yard touchdown reception against the Washington Redskins. Caught it over the middle and went all the way with it.
Bruce Hardy, the tight end of the Miami Dolphins, sprained a right ankle, and we're told he will not be back, so it'll be up to Farrell Edmonds. In the third, it's the Steelers 19-10 over the Redskins, 13-10 the 49ers over the Giants, and the Bears 10-6 lead over Indianapolis. It's how about this one? New Orleans 15-14. First time they've been in the lead this afternoon in the third. Tampa Bay and Green Bay a 10-10 tie. And we're sitting on a 3-3 tie
that's about to be broken.
First down. Edmonds swings over to the right side. The deep back is Thurman Thomas. Check that. Make it Stratford. And the good goes to Stratford. And he is nailed coming down across the 15-yard line. Troy was just hooked by Shane Conlon. I think he got maybe one hand on the little guy and pulled him down. Second down, about 8. Near the 15.
Don't you have the feeling, Chuck, that something's got to bust loose here any minute with these two teams, with all that scoring power, with the great ability of the quarterbacks, the core receivers? Something's got to break loose.
Bennett and Stratford in a split backfield. Cooper and Clayton are wide to the right side. Here is a lot of time, and Marino lets it go over the middle, and Stratford, it looked as though, was there at the 10. And Cornelius Bennett was there with him. Gain of 5 brings up third and about 3 now for the Dolphins.
Troy Stratford, as we told you earlier, has led the Dolphins in receiving and rushing last year. As he comes across the middle, curls in, takes a quick pass, and is hit immediately by Cornelius Bennett.
Well, they go out of the shotgun. Jensen is alongside quarterback Marino. This is a third down and 3. Look out. He got rid of it. It's blocked. Incompleted forward pass. And the Dolphins will trot the field goal unit out to see if they can break a 3-3 tie. Might have been Smerlis on the block. We'll know in a moment. Let's take a look.
Getting a lot of pressure from a cornerback coming in the left side of your screen. Also, Shane Conlon and Smerlis. Art Still gets his hand up right in the middle. But number 21, Wayne Davis, puts a lot of pressure on from the outside. So a good overall defensive effort.
27-yard field goal effort now by Revez. Has he got it? Well, the heck with a 3-3 tie. 27-yard field goal, and the Dolphins have broken that seemingly endless 3-3 tie that we've been talking about. It's about Miami now 6 and Buffalo 3. Ready for the Miami kickoff. All of the points in the game on turnovers. Revez hits it, and Riddick is waiting down around the 2-yard line into the end zone, and Brown is coming back with it. 10, looking for some daylight. Found a little bit, good for another yard or 2, and is taken down shy of the 20-yard line. The scoring drive on the part of the Dolphins, 5 plays for 17 yards, and Revez with a 27-yard field goal. Well, Kelly and the Bills have got to get busy. They started the second half, and I thought that was the way they would continue. They started the second half throwing the ball. They threw it with success. As a matter of fact, they went from their 11-yard line all the way down to the Dolphins' 21-yard line. And then there was a fumble, and the Dolphins took the ball away. That's Byram in motion. The pitch back. Oh, what a great hole for Stratford. Check that. Make it Thomas. And Thurman brings it out to, let's see, they're going to spot it at about the 28. Take a look at the scores of baseball. Yankees 3-1 in the fourth. In the eighth inning, 2-2 tie Cleveland, Boston. No score, Seattle, Milwaukee. They're in the second. Next Saturday, the Yankees against the Red Sox. Giants versus the Astros. At the 28. Second down, about a yard. Byron in motion. Pitch again. Goes to the same fellow, Thomas. And he tries to hurdle a group of tacklers. It's snatched down after he picks up first down yardage around the 31-yard line. Mark Brown might have been the guy that reached up and got Thurman and yanked him down. A minute and 42 remaining here in the third quarter. 6-3 the Dolphins. And a first down at the 31. Now Burkett comes out wide to the left side, and Thurman Thomas is the other side, Chris, and he's gone over there now alongside of Andre Reed. It leaves Byron Malone back behind Jim Kelly, looking to throw, looking left all the way, and just did not hook up as he wanted to with Thurman Thomas. 2nd and 10, still at the 31.
Maybe Jim isn't loose. He hasn't thrown the ball that much today. We haven't seen the Buffalo Bills run the ball this much, or the Miami Dolphins for that matter. And that pass was just over Thurman Thomas's head, out of reach.
Kelly is 10 for 16, 148 yards with an interception. And again, it's Thomas wide to the left side of the set, down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. On 2nd and 10. No fake. Here's a look by Kelly. Another look comes to the left side. If at first it doesn't succeed, is he inbounds or not?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. They say he is. Hobley was there on the coverage.
This is one of those situations where you have to judge whether the defender knocked the receiver out of bounds or not. You see Thurman Thomas go up and get the ball, and now he doesn't come down maybe with both feet in the ground, in the field of play. Maybe he does, but nevertheless, the defensive player is there to knock him to the sidelines. That right foot is marginal. It may have been in, it may not have been in, but in any event, the defender knocked him out of the field of play, so the ball is ruled complete.
Another conference on the part of the officials. It's first down. Maybe they're checking again. I looked at us. You take a look and see if you don't decide along with us that his right foot is in bounds along with the left.
Now his left foot is definitely in there. Now watch the heel of his right foot. Now it looks like it's in bounds here. Plus the defensive man is knocking him out of bounds, so it appears to be a completion from this angle.
Well, we've got another consultation.
And we'll check the instant replay camera, which I think is a good idea. I'm in favor of that. If I make a play that's a good play, give it to me. If I don't deserve it, take it away from me.
I'm not so sure the Buffalo Bills organization feels that way. I'm not sure that Buffalo, I think they've gone on record as one of the teams who was really not in favor of the instant replays.
One more time.
One more time.
Now watch that right foot. The right foot is the one in question. Does he or does he not? And is the defensive player supply him?
Further review. The play stand.
That's the play stand.
First down.
Okay, first down at the 42.
Brian Sauché trying to get ready.
And again, it's Thomas. And you can see trying to rip the ball loose with Sauché, the big number 7. You saw the right arm come popping up in the air. Unsuccessfully, he held on in his forward progress just to about the 47. Thomas now has carried 14 for 46 yards. Second half doubleheader games. New York Jets at Cleveland, New England at Minnesota, Kansas City at Seattle, Cincinnati at Philadelphia coming up next. Second down and 5. Shallow drop, quick release, and he's got the great big man. And Metzeler fumbles as he was knocked down and is recovered by the Miami Dolphins. Will they say he had possession right there? Yeah, that's it. That's what they say. Jarvis Williams picked it up and started back with it, but the official rules possession.
Take a watch Jim Kelly throw the ball to Metzlars, the big tight end, right across the middle, and he gets hit here by Thurman Thomas, and the ball comes loose after it hits the ground. The ground cannot cause a fumble.
Well, it stands. It is a completion and a first down. And at the end of the third quarter, the score is Miami 6 and the Bills 3. We'll be right back after these messages from the local. That's Thurman Thomas booming through the middle and taken down shy of the 25 by Jarvis Williams, among others. And that'll bring up a second down and a short yard. And the ball now down to the Dolphin 27. Dolphins 113 yards in passing. And the Bills trying to get caught up. It's Byron in motion. Again, it's Thomas. Just lost his balance on making the cut and is close to first down yardage, and we'll have to see what it looks like after the untangle. T.J. Turner, among others, turning it in. And the officials are going to take a look at it and measure.
Jimmy Ringo, one of my old pals from Green Bay, the offensive line coach now with the Buffalo Bills. Jim and I played together back in the early Eocene period, just before the Ice Age hit Wisconsin.
At the Dolphin 26, first down for the Bills. 6-3 the Dolphins, a lot of time remaining. Burkett wide to the left side of the set. That sends Reed the other way. Thomas and Byron are the setbacks. That's Reed in motion through the Bill backfield. Pitch back to Thomas on that right side. Squirts through a bit of a hole and is close to the 20. Mark Brown, 51 of the Dolphins, helped on the tackle.
The Buffalo Bills lost their right guard at the beginning, or last week, but you can see that offensive line is doing a fine job as Thomas squirts through a hole there for about 6 or 7 yards. But good job up front.
He's been a busy man. 18 carries, 66 yards for that far, Thurman Thomas. That's motion by Byram. And a handoff again to Thomas. Bumped into somebody and managed to get a yard or two out of it anyway. He's got to get down to about the 16-yard line for a first down.
This is a fascinating game for me, this chess game we're going back and forth with. We look at Thurman Thomas.
Going to get a breather. Rob Riddick is coming on. 19-17 in the third, Steelers over the Redskins. 18-10 in the fourth, the Giants over the 49ers over the Giants, excuse me. And it's 10-6, the Bears over Indianapolis in the third quarter. 21-15, Atlanta over New Orleans in the third. And in the fourth quarter, Tampa Bay and Green Bay have still got the 10-10 tie. Riddick is the deep back. The up back is Byron. And it's the deep back, Riddick. And he's close, but we'll wait until they untangle. The official spots the ball. Jarvis Williams closed rapidly from his safety position. And it's fourth down. Fourth down. Now, the fans are saying go, but number 4 comes out and brings with him his teammate, Scott Norwood, number 11, and they're going to go for the field goal in an effort to tie it up. It will be a 35-yard effort. The ball is spotted at the 25. Got it away. Looks good, and it is good. So the Bills and the Dolphins are right back where they were a couple hours ago, all tied up. A sellout crowd at Rich Stadium. That is now Buffalo 6 and Miami 6.
Today's game is brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. Everything else is just a light. By Pontiac, we build excitement. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler.
Waiting for the kickoff. That's Hampton down there, and also with him, Jarvis Williams, and down in the end zone. Jarvis says coach doesn't want me to come back with that one. So the Dolphins go to work at their own 20. 79,580 people in the Rich Stadium in Buffalo this afternoon. That's the Bills' scoring drive. 12 plays, 64 yards, 35-yard field goal by Scott Norwood. Thurman. Attendance is 79,520. And this is Stratford hit in his own backfield and just about got back to the line of scrimmage if he did. Cornelius Bennett. Spotting him now at the 19, and the crowd of better than 79,000 now begins to get into the game.
And Cornelius is leading the cheers. He's not only a whale of a linebacker, number 55 in his second year with the Buffalo Bills, he's a part-time cheerleader. Made an excellent tackle at that time and is wanting some excitement out here. Really a super young ball player.
It's Bennett and Stratford again. Second down 11, about the 19. Edmonds in motion. And the give goes again to Stratford. And I'll tell you, that Buffalo defense has suddenly grown up in a big hurry. They said, we're going to stop them right here, take the ball away, and hang up some points. Seals on the stop. Third down and still 10. Dolphins at their own 20. And Marino and his teammates are hard pressed now to pull something out of the bag.
Got to throw the ball. They've been running it long enough. This is no offensive lineman speaking. It's time to open up and throw the ball.
Scott Schwade's another wide receivers, wide to the right side. They got Duper and Clayton wide to the left side, not of the shotgun. Marino looking for a target, has some time, fires down the near sideline, and he's got his receiver and out of bounds. Goes Duper at about midfield. Dwight Drain knocks him out of bounds.
These two teams have been sparring like a couple heavyweights, feeling each other out, running the ball, taking the time. Finally, Marino on 3rd and long has to throw the ball. And you see Mark Duper streaking down the sideline with the reception. Nice play, nice catch.
Had a great angle from up here in the booth, and that was a perfectly thrown ball from Marino. First down in midfield. Oh, he juggled the snap and then rolls out and then throws it back across from the screen, and Stratford drops the ball. It is a forward pass and just incomplete. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Buffalo Bills and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the National Football League, Miami Dolphins, and Buffalo Bills, all rights reserved. Marino now 15 for 23 and 154 yards. Edmonds in motion. Hardy is out with an injured ankle. Marino looking for a target. Lets it go, and he's got Duper, and out of bounds he goes at the 40-yard line. That's shy of first down yardage. Nate Odoms on the tackle. About a yard shy, maybe less than that. And here comes one of those big ones, a third down in the yard.
Now I'm in favor of running the ball, but well, the game really has to open up a little bit and move the ball down the field now. But 3rd and 1, that's my time to run the ball.
Well, Bennett has come back in, and he's brought Jensen with him. 3rd down in the yard. Ball at the Bills 40.
Let's talk
Time
about
right now. Marino sees something that needs to be talked about on this 3rd down in the yard, so they have taken the timeout. All ready to move along. Once again, it'll be a very important 3rd down in the yard for the Dolphins at the Buffalo 40, and we'll be right back. 3rd down a yard at the Bills 40. Bennett is in the backfield. Stratford's there with him. And Brian Kinchin is on the field as a tight end. He's a wing to the left side. No, it's Jensen. He goes in motion. The pitch back to Stratford, coming to the left side, makes a cut, and it's across the 40. And may have first down. No, he's a little bit shy. We'd better wait for the official to dig that one out. He just got the head of the ball over that 40-yard line, and he's got to get deeper than that. Fourth down, says Stratford. Here's a...
I never like to go outside on 3rd and 1. I like to go right at him. You can see Troy Stratford get the ball here and take it around in, and bingo. He is met by Ray Bentley and a handful of Buffalo Bills, and it appears that it is just inches short.
Yes. And if you're Don Shula, you've got a decision to make. And I don't see anybody but the offensive unit. Lorenzo Hampton coming out. Stratford is still there. Bennett is there. Now Stratford now begins to move toward the sideline. It will be 4th down, inches.
Great place for a quarterback sneak. If we can't make 4 or 5 inches, we're in the wrong place.
Well, let's see what Shula and the Dolphins are going to do. They are definitely going for it. How they will do it. Sometimes it's a smart idea to just go right ahead with a quarterback keeper in this case. But you think the Bills won't think of that? Look at them plugging up that middle. I don't know. I don't think so.
Cornelius, cheerleader Bennett, doesn't think they made it. And we'll have to wait till they unpile and untangle to find out, but it's extremely close. And
Bennett hit the hole as hard as he could, but it just remains to be seen. They're going to have to measure again. They only needed a couple of inches. Well, they indicate a first down.
Surely
they're going to measure. They are going to measure. Okay, I'm just going to say.
Something that close.
The referee says, no, I don't need a measurement. It's a first down. Well, I'm glad. So Bennett did get it. He only had to get a couple of inches.
Close call.
Yes, it was.
And now is a perfect time for that over-the-shoulder pass from Marino.
Jerry, you've been looking for that all day. Edmonds in motion. He's replaced Hardy here in the second half. Bruce is out with a bad ankle. Wants to put it up. First down. Dumps it off, and he's got Stratford down around the 33-yard line. Boy, what great reaction on the part of quarterback Marino. Bentley made the tackle on the elusive Stratford. Had he not, it would have been interesting, because once that fellow gets out in the open, he is very difficult to find.
We got a little pressure here on Marino, and I think he dumped this ball a little quicker than he wanted to, and Troy Stratford goes down almost to the carpet to catch this ball. Just a couple inches off the carpet. It was a great catch, great move by an exceptional athlete.
He's caught 7, as you see, for 43 yards. And the pitch, there he is again. And he attracted a lot of company, didn't he, though? Seals was there first. Leon. Get back to the line of scrimmage.
Big Leon Seals replacing Bruce Smith, who is out for 30 days, violation of the substance abuse rule. Little concern here that the loss of Bruce would really hurt this defensive team, but Leon Seals has stepped in, and there hasn't been a noticeable fall off in performance at that spot.
And from the shotgun, 3rd and 4. They get it inside the Bills' 30 for a first down. Marino has some time. He took a heck of a belt, and it is an incompleted forward pass intended for Jensen. And what great coverage on the part of Mark Kelso of the Bills. And it'll be 4th down. Still about 4. And Revés is on field. And you can take a look at the punishment that, well, we better watch the field goal, and then maybe we can go back and show you the hit on Marino. This is going to be spotted at about the 40-yard line. It'll be a 50-yard effort on the part of Revés. Crowd has let her go, and it is going to be short. It is not good. Now you can take a look at the hit on Marino. And this is the punishment he took, trying to get rid of the ball.
Watch Wayne Davis coming in from the blind side there again. Saw that in the first half. Have to put pressure on Marino.
Now a big play for the Buffalo defensive unit. Now they take over offensively. The Bills in possession at their own 33-yard line of a 6-6 tie with 6:36 remaining. And Kelly and his teammates would like to put some points on the board. Thurman Thomas and Carl Byram are the setbacks. That's Byram in motion. Play action fake and pressure, and Kelly gets rid of it, but overthrew the intended receiver, Byram, at about the 45.
Been a lot of discipline by both teams, running the ball, controlling the ball, not taking too many chances. But we're getting down to 6 minutes now, and there's an urgency to score. Let's move down the field. Let's get something on the board. And we have to throw the ball at this point, I believe.
Well, both quarterbacks have thrown very well, up and down the field for well over 300 yards, but only 6 points, 2 field goals. Byram, the lone setback behind Jim Kelly. 2nd down, still 33. That's Burkett in motion. Kelly looks to the left side over the middle, and he's got his man, and down he goes at the 42-yard line. That's Andre Reed again. Well, you pointed it out earlier. He is not at all hesitant about getting in the middle of things. William Judson brought him down. Gained to the 42. And it'll be 3rd down, about a long yard.
Andre led all Bills receivers last year with 57 catches, but he was closely followed by Chris Burkett with 56 and Ronnie Harmon with 56.
Burkett is wide to the left side. That puts Reed over on the other side. And it's Thomas. And here is the drop by Kelly. He dumps it off, and he's got Reed. Beats one tackler. On his feet at the 45, now to the 40, and rolled out of bounds. Langford pushes him out. A big gain for the Buffalo Bills, and that gets this big crowd of over 79,000 on their feet. 23 yards.
We've been talking about Andre Reed, number 83, most of the day for the Buffalo Bills. He comes into the middle, takes a hit, spins, comes back outside, and now turns on the burners. Paul Langford, number 44, comes up to knock him out of bounds.
Again, Byram in motion. The pitch back to Thomas. And he is snapped down somewhere in the vicinity of 33. John Offerdahl. Also Soche. Ball to the 31. Gain of 3. 2nd down, about 7. climb the time, just, rolling along relentlessly. But the best these two teams could do this afternoon, a pair of field goals apiece. Like touchdowns were illegal. Kelly looking and hoping for that touchdown. Metzeler at the 10. Jarvis Williams makes the stop.
What a beautifully thrown ball by Jim Kelly. He gets a little pressure, looks left, and just dumps it over the linebacker's head into Big Pete Metzeler, who takes the ball on about the 9-10-yard line. Beautiful pass.
Those are the kind of catches that tight ends are paid for. They're big enough to handle the defensive backs. They just out-muscle people, and he had great hands. Not great speed, but wonderful hands. At the 10-yard line. Time by Kelly, who spotted something that he did not like, and takes a little timeout. That ball is inside the 10. That's what we wanted to double check. So it is 1st and goal.
Certainly a time to be careful about mistakes. Now, we've seen both teams get down near the goal line today several different times, and turnovers stopped them. Fumbles, interceptions, mistakes. And certainly Jimmy doesn't want to make a mistake at this point. Jim Kelly, we're watching on the sidelines, who is 15 for 23 today for 231 yards.
Well, NBC Sports begins its coverage of the 1988 Summer Olympic Games this Thursday night at 9 Eastern and 8 Central and Mountain with a special preview. Meet the men and women of the Games, 11,000 strong from over 160 nations, all sharing a common dream of Olympic gold. And on Friday, NBC presents coverage of one of the grandest spectacles on earth, the opening ceremony of the Games of the 24th Olympiad. The Olympics are live and only on NBC, and here come the Bills. He's got it to Thomas, and he just charges down to about the 7. T.J. Turner, among other Dolphins, are there to plug it up. 2nd down and goal.
Have to get in the end zone. We can't get a 1st down. We're just, as we said earlier, slightly inside the 10, so cannot get a 1st down. Have to score.
Thomas is set out wide to the right side of the Buffalo formation, and Byron is lone back behind the quarterback, Kelly. 2nd down and goal. He wants to throw, looks left, throws right over the middle, and it is incomplete. He was trying to get it down to Burkett, but there was excellent defense on the part of the Dolphins. Looked like William Judson and Jarvis Williams, and they may have collided, and we have an injured Dolphin. Williams is slow getting up. Judson is the other player involved.
I believe that's exactly what happened, Chuck. They were coming opposite directions and collided in the middle of the goal post. Of course, they were going full speed.
Well, there's the man of the moment, possibly, Scott Norwood. It is at the 7-yard line. 3rd down and goal.
You're going to throw the ball, or you're going to set it up in the middle of the field for the field goal.
Well, it's in great position right now as far as Buffalo is concerned, but there's 3:27 left on the clock, and Marino can do a lot with that amount of time, and can most other quarterbacks. Out of the shotgun, Riddick off the left shoulder of Kelly. He looks, pump fake, throws into the end zone. Touchdown, Burkett. Chris Burkett. Apparently there's a penalty flag down, and there is, we see, inside the 5-yard line.
And the Miami Dolphins are jumping in the air like it's against the Bills.
Ineligible receiver, number 67, downfield.
The ineligible receiver downfield, number 67, is Kent Hull. Center. Wipe out the TD.
My.
It'll be third down. They're walking off the proper spot of the ball. And they put it right down in between the 18 and the 17.
It's hard to imagine how the center, number 67, is downfield.
There he
is,
67 inside the 5-yard line.
Between the 5-yard line and the goal line. You recall the ball was on the 7. You're not allowed to be more than 2 yards downfield.
Third down and goal. Out at the 17. And out of the spread formation. The handoff to number 33, and he is around that corner. That's Harmon, and Harmon is banged out of bounds at about the 10. Ronnie Harmon.
You know, Chuck, that last play might have been a screen to the right. That's what Thomas Hull was doing out there. You saw Kelly look to the right, pump to the right, and then come back across the middle. So there must have been a screen called off to the right side that time to get your center that far from the line of play.
It's a 6-6 tie, and Norwood waiting to try a field goal. It's being spotted at about the 19. 29-yard boot. Spot's okay. Got the kick away. Looks all right. I don't see any penalty flags. And so the Buffalo Bills have moved out in front, breaking the 6-6 tie with 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. A 28-yard field goal is the official measurement. And it's now Buffalo 9 and Miami 6 with 3:12 remaining. A lot of time for Marino and his offensive teammates. Let's look from the end zone at the field goal.
That was a overtime sudden-death game last year, Miami-Buffalo, here in Buffalo, where Norwood won the game with a last-minute field goal. And maybe he'll have to do it again.
Well, the Dolphins waiting the kickoff from Norwood. And they've got Jarvis Williams and Hampton back there. Back at about the 5-yard line. And if ever the Dolphins were to come up with a good return, this would be an ideal spot. The scoring drive went 8 plays, covering 56 yards, and culminated with a 28-yard field goal by Norwood. Jarvis Williams is to the near side as you look head on into Norwood, the kicker, and to the far side is Hampton. He hits it pretty good back at about the 5. This is Jarvis Williams over the 10, 15, 20, 25, and stopped at about the 27-yard line. Steve Tasker, special team specialist, made the tackle. Time shows 3 minutes and 3 seconds, and Marino and his teammates have got a long way to go. Davenport is in that offensive backfield, along with Stratford. Davenport then the up back, out of the eye. Stratford the deep back. Number 27 of the Dolphins. Edmonds in motion. Oh, fumble the snap, and Marino dove on it. That's another point that could be made. Darryl Talley covered the play. For years, Stevenson was in the middle of that offensive line for the Miami Dolphins, and if there's a better center around than that fellow, I have not seen him. And it may have a bearing on some of the problems offensively that the Dolphins have been having.
We saw that happen last week against Chicago. That's no excuse for that kind of an exchange.
Now from the shotgun. Marino wanting to throw. Has enough time to look around. And he hits it to Stratford. And Stratford is down at about the 35. Art Still trailing made the tackle, and we're now down. The penalty flag is down. Back between the 15 and the 20-yard line. It's a holding area.
65 offense.
That's exactly what it was. Dellenbach, the center, is the culprit this time. When Marino throws, no touchdowns. The Dolphins are 0-5. Just one touchdown. They're 12-5. What an incredible start. And back at the 17. Second down, about 20. Out of the shotgun again. He's got it to Jensen. And Jensen is out to about the 30. Art Still again in there on the tackle. I understand they've complained about Still's lack of practice. Well, I'll tell you, he knows what to do when game day arrives, though, does he not?
He certainly does, Chuck.
9-6. The Bills over the Dolphins here at Rich Stadium. Well, a happy Jim Kelly on the sideline. A clock showing 1:56. The Dolphins in possession. Third down, about 6 at their own 30.
Jim Kelly's one of those throwback kind of quarterbacks. He could have played linebacker, could have played maybe defensive tackle or something. He was a great kid with a great attitude.
And the pass right at the first down marker. Should have been Duper, I believe it was. And if he's... we have first down, says the referee, Johnny Greer. So the Dolphins are very much alive. And well, here's a report from Len Byrne on NFL Live. Len?
Thank you, Chuck Thompson. The star of the day in the National Football League thus far, Steeler quarterback Bubby Brister. This play covers 72 yards to Dwight Stone. Brister has thrown for 2. He's run for 1. Pittsburgh maybe upsetting Washington, 29-20, 8 minutes to go. Chuck and Jerry, back to you.
Well, the Dolphins come a cropper, illegal procedure. And that's going to cost them 5. So it'll be a first down and 15. And the ball goes back to the 33-yard line. And you can see a decidedly unhappy Don Shula, minute 48. From the shotgun. He's got his man in the middle at the 40, and he is stuck up and held right at that spot. Jim Jensen again on the receiving end, and he was on the receiving end of the pass and also the hit from Conlon. They've spotted at the 41. A minute and 26 as Marino goes to work. Has some time, drills down the middle. Caught at the Bills' 40-yard line, and a first down for Miami. Mark Clayton on the receiving end, and Kelso made the tackle. And the hurry-up offense at the Bills' 40. Marino looks right, throws right, and he's got a receiver down at the 35-yard line again. It's Clayton.
Running out of time, down to 50, 49, 48.
At the 35. And all he does is stop the clock by throwing the ball into the turf. The stadium clock says 44 seconds. And the Dolphins are in possession at the Bills' 35. The range of route is about 52 yards is his longest, speaking of Reves. take a look at the report card of the Bills. Right now, let's watch the Dolphins. 3rd down, 5 at the Bills, 35. Marino coming to the left side. Drop. Incompleted forward pass to Trey Stratford. Another drop ball in a crucial situation. Wayne Davis was right there. And it's 4th down now.
That's a 40-second timeout.
40-second timeout taken by Miami. Rivez waiting his turn on the sideline. It is 4th down and 5. And with 41 seconds on the clock for Miami, this is the game right here. Deep drop. Incomplete. At the 30-yard line, Mark Kelso makes the play. Jensen, the intended receiver, and with 37 seconds left, that's the ball game. Kelly and his teammates now just run out the clock.
Had to complete this pass to hold on to it. You can see Mark Kelso all over Jensen. Close play, close call, incomplete. Buffalo takes over the game and the ball game.
Here's a look at it again. I'm not so sure that he could have gotten to the throw, Jerry.
Close play.
Yep. And they just drop on it. And the Bills have defeated the Dolphins to go 2-0. And Don Shula, concerned about how he played in the division last year, 2-6, is going to be concerned again this year. Well, it's time for the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser. Today's MVP is Jim Kelly from the Buffalo Bills. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all of the MVPs selected in today's game. Jim Kelly, 15 for 24, 231 yards. Not a touchdown in there. There's the man who made the play that ensured the Bills of the victory. And the Bills up to just take the final seconds off the clock. Better than 79,000 this afternoon at Rich Stadium in Buffalo, in Orchard Park, right outside of Buffalo. And they'll go home extremely happy. The Bills this afternoon perhaps did not play as well as they did in their victory against the Vikings, but they had what it took to win, and winning is what counts. It's been a little while since I've seen a football game without a touchdown, but so it goes this afternoon. That's it. The game's over. And you can see a happy Marv Levy going into the clubhouse, congratulating his linebacker Bennett for another outstanding effort. When the defense had to stop the Dolphins, they did. And that's the name of the game. One of the biggest problems the Dolphins have had in recent years has been playing successful defensive football. They just have not come up to what they were years ago, Jerry.
That young Buffalo Bill defense.
And we'll be back. We'll be back right after this. Well, it wasn't pretty, but it was a win. 9-6 Buffalo over Miami. Chuck Thompson along with Jerry Kramer saying so long. Stay tuned for the second half of today's doubleheader after the following messages from your local stations.
At Buffalo, they're waiting for Thanksgiving and Christmas here. Like the rest of the nation, they're also waiting for the Buffalo Bill offense to get going. They're undefeated.